When you look online for the worst Sonic games of all time lists, more often than not, you'll see that Sonic 06 is on there, and, granted, it is not a great game in any way, I still think people are unfairly negative about it. This is not helped with the 2010s YouTube boom where they just used the game as a collective punching bag for God knows how many years. That being said, I don't think it's the worst Sonic game out there. I don't even think it's anywhere close to the worst Sonic game out there. You have Sonic games like Sonic and the Secret Rings, where you have to unlock better controls within that game. However, the presentation, soundtrack and level themes are great. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is a broken, buggy mess due to Sega forcing the developers to change what console the game was due to release on. However, it was a bold new attempt even if it did not pan out. Sonic 4 is an embarrassing attempt to rekindle some of the Hedgehog's past glory, with none of the soul and none of the fun. But even that, the game's not bad, it's just painfully mediocre. But all of these are nothing. I can still play these games and get some form of enjoyment out of it in one way or another. But there's none of that for the game that I'm about to talk about. This Sonic game is not fun to play at all. It feels more dated than the very games that came out on the same console, and it just looks atrocious. What happens when you take the 3D sprites from Sonic 3D Blast and slap it onto a 2D platformer? You get Sonic Blast, and my pick for the worst Sonic game out there. But, despite this, should you play it? Sonic Blast, or G-Sonic as it's known in Japan, is a 2D platformer made on the Sega Game Gear in 1996. It was also released on the Master System in Brazil in 1997, and was Sega's attempt to cash in on Nintendo's Donkey Kong money. They are not the first to try that. Nintendo themselves tried it with Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy as an example. However, the main issue of Sonic Blast is, it just feels like something that was made on the cheap to try and cash in on a craze. It does nothing to set it apart, it's just there. The plot is your standard Sonic fare. You play as Sonic or Knuckles as they try to stop Dr. Eggman from using the Chaos Emeralds to fortify his base of operations. No Tails though, I'm guessing he's off taking a nap somewhere. To stop Eggman, you dash through several zones trying to find the Chaos Emeralds along the way, which takes on Sonic 3's method of jump in big ring hidden in level. Overall, it's a very short game, taking about an hour if you try to get all the emeralds. Now, first impressions of the game are not kind. This game is ugly. The sprites look too big, making the screen look cramped, the levels look flat thanks due to the pre-rendered look of everything, and worst of all, the game just feels sluggish to play. You will get caught on the level geometry, you will get hit by badniks you have no way of spotting, the special stages play against your depth perception, the level design itself is uninspired. As far as impressions go, it's like the game slaps you in the face the moment you turn it on and it just goes downhill from there. But, you know, enough about first impressions, let's just take a look into what makes this game feel so bad to play. There are a total of 5 zones in the game, ranging from bland to oh my god let this sweet hell end. Each zone has 3 acts each, with the third one being a boss battle. And they're all your typical Sonic fare. You start off in Green Hill Zone, shocking, I know, and here's where you get to have a feel for the character. If you're playing as Sonic, you get a double jump which can be used to explore the level design a bit, and Knuckles has his glide and climbing skills. This is to help find the special stages that I mentioned earlier. There is one special stage in each of the first 2 acts, however only the second act has the Chaos Emerald in. The first one just gives you an extra life. After Green Hill, you have Yellow Desert, which is where the blind level design starts to feel apparent. There are spikes dotted around in seemingly random locations, and some of the enemies start to blindside you due to limited screen space provided. After that, you got Red Volcano, which has the same issue as Yellow Desert, only instead of spikes, it's lava. Fancy. Then, you have Blue Marine Zone. I hate this zone. It is the worst zone I've ever played in any Sonic game. It's the worst level I have played in any game, period. Your slow movement is made even slower when you're underwater. That, plus the limited bubbles the game gives you, and the overuse of the goddamn tubes to get anywhere, it's honestly one of the worst experiences I've ever had playing a game. It's like the level's made just to make your day worse. If this level was a human, I'd punch it in the face. Thanks to the maze-like level design, you'll find yourself turned around several times. And the added stress of the ticking oxygen timer does not help. I can say one good thing though about this level: the moment you are out of the water, the game feels like it's running 10 times quicker. So I guess that's something. Finally, you have Silver Castle Zone. This one uses teleporters and this annoying spiked wall mechanic. It's okay, take your time. If you're just going from A to B, you'll go through all the acts fairly quickly, minus Blue Marine. However, if you, for some reason, choose to go for the emeralds, then it will take slightly longer to get everything. The special stages themselves are a take on the Sonic 3D Blast special stages, and not the good ones on the Saturn. You run across a void, collecting 50 rings before you reach the end of the stage. They do get slightly more complex, but honestly, it's really easy. I did them all first try, and they do not challenge you in the slightest. If you get all 5 emeralds, yes, there are just 5 in this game, then you unlock the final boss fight, which is one of the worst designed bosses I've ever seen. Not looks-wise, mind you. I really dig the fact that it made him look like a cracked egg, but more mechanically. To hit him, you first need to jump on the lower platform and then on his head. But the timing for this is far too tight. You need to be exact with your timing. If you're just a millisecond too slow, then you'll just bounce right off him. Honestly, it's far too tight a time frame. If they were to increase the time frame by just a single second, then the fight would be a lot more smoother. Eventually, you'll beat him up and then you'll get to see the ending. And yeah, roll the credits. Make no mistake, I love this franchise. Even now, I buy whatever new release is out there, and I'm eagerly looking forward to the Sonic Cross Shadow Generations remake that's coming out this year. But man, this game just stinks. And not in a, I'm sure there's something fun here. No, it's just bad. All of it's bad. Bad. Everything about it just does not mesh well. You can't blame the Game Gear for this, as there are some really good Sonic games on the thing. But this just feels like a failed experiment that should just be forgotten about. The game on release did not review well, both with the original release and the 3DS version that was put on the eShop before that closed down, rest in peace. The version of this game that I played was the one on Sonic Origins, which my lovely community forced me to play. I streamed this live on my Twitch. Are you taking the mic? No! I also played the 3DS release while writing this video just to get more coverage. Both versions suck, but the 3DS version plays a bit better at least, but that's not saying much. If you want to play this game for whatever reason, you can play it as part of the Sonic Origins Plus pack. It's one of the many added Game Gear games, but I do recommend to play any other Game Gear game other than this. There are some really good ones on there, Tails Adventure being my personal favourite pick. But, to answer the question I asked at the beginning of this video, should you play Sonic Blast? No, you should not. Honestly, I would be surprised if anybody thought this was not going to be the answer. Hey guys, slightly shorter video than usual today. That's because the next video is looking to be a bit of a beefier project, so I thought I'd make something smaller to tide you guys over until then. If you did like the video, please consider subscribing, it does help out a lot. And also check out the Chazwhick gaming channel. I've just recently uploaded my OWL only playthrough on that, which I was originally streamed on Twitch but broken down into a 10+ minute video. I also have a Twitch and Twitter, so follow me on there. I am not asking. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.